Hello, welcome. Right, it's time to play some Senior League matches. G. Maurice. I'm just going to actually check our team. I think that's the more important thing to check. I did quickly check it before. I think not having Bevan is the big thing that I'm not too sure about. But I think it's the right move. Also, probably should be an MR on the bench here instead of ML. No, okay. I don't know, because we got MR here. I'll just leave it. I thought about it before. I'm just going to leave it rather than last second change. Let's just see where this G. Maurice is. So they're 655, so decent. So we're certainly not guaranteed to win, so to speak. That's a shame. I was just quickly checking about the matchups. I'm okay with how we're matching up. Basically, in particular, like Mizachi is offset to the right, so I was just checking. So he's mostly this defender. He's only got 44 speed, 46 tackling. The other ones are kind of the other two are better. So like we're just happy for that to be the case. And the other way around, I think we were okay with our DC matchups versus their strikers. I think in particular, was this guy the faster guy? This guy was the faster guy, and he's matched up on his ALC, so he's matched up on our DRC and our DC, I suppose, but they're our faster defenders. So the matchups are pretty decent for us on the whole. Just in terms of, I guess, not just speed, but like I said, we just want our striker to be lined up against the weaker defender. And Speak's just part of that. He's also not particularly good at tackling either. I mean, looking at their team, they're sort of decent or whatever, but they're decent. So, but again, I think our team is just better, so we should be looking to win for sure. Got Korean. Let's see the nationality. I think he'd be Korean. Or maybe good little test, really. South Korean. are Chinese. I don't know. You have to check after. I'm curious if I can guess them all. Would that be maybe Serbian? Oh man, I don't like. I don't know. You don't like this guy? Yeah, American or Canadian or English, anything. Could be Swedish. Here sounds a bit Russian or Ukrainian. Would that be Portuguese? Maybe Brazilian? Oh my gosh, it's actually Wooters. It sounds Dutch, Belgian. It's actually surprisingly difficult. I wonder where that name's from. Probably should be focusing more on the match. I think this name in particular, because it was just like one letter, it just caught my eye. I don't see that very often. Maybe it's the first time we've seen that, so it was... Alright, what's his first name? Who? Yeah, it sounds I guess maybe Chinese or Korean. But it could be just totally wrong there. To be honest, I could have been wrong about a lot of them. It's hard, isn't it? Because I look at these and it's like, that looks like a more like a French or Spanish type of name, but then it's like Andrew. Like, anyway, so our keeper got an op. Probably should be focusing more on winning. They haven't really done much. I mean, I have been checking the names and watching the match a bit. So I really just feel like we gave up that corner, they scored off it. That's kind of it. They haven't really done anything else. We've done a bit. Luckily, we got those 2 goals because I'm not sure we really had done enough to be guaranteed to score 2. So sort of lucky we got them. And yeah, I just feel like we're firmly in control. I feel like there's a good chance we'll get another goal still. That was a bit dangerous in various ways, I think. That shot that came in, or that cross that came in, like, if I had gone to one of their players in the box, it could have been a goal. Yeah, it just looked weird when I saw that. When it's just like one dot or whatever, I don't know, it looked a bit weird, but anyway. That's a good cut back. Okay, I think that's game at this point. So I think we can just start looking to make the subs because I think we've won. Not 100% guaranteed, obviously, but I just mean so we still want to do controlled subs, not anything too crazy. So we'll get just 2 fresh attacking players on. I think there's a question about, do we want to sub him off or our DMC? Probably I do think also, like, Foe could potentially be playing in central midfield, and we could be starting Harburg still. Keep thinking about that, to be honest. So yeah, this was a pretty easy game. I'm not really... I thought it might be a bit more interesting when they got that early goal, to be honest. But then... kind of just scored soon after that. And then again. And then... it's a pretty easy game, all in all. Yeah, unfortunately, it's still just that importance of just knowing when to change something and knowing when to leave it. So, big thing about winning this game really was just not panicking when, you know, they scored that early goal off that corner. It's the only shot on target they had the whole game, and they didn't really create anything much at all. The other shots were really like nothing at all, much chances. They had kind of loosely had one sort of dangerous, like they had a little bit. Maybe if we were extremely unlucky, they could have scored another goal off of what they did. But we still would win anyway. So we've ended up with four. Granted, hasn't scored much this season, I don't think. I'll have to check that after. So, keeper injured. You got depth in that position anyway, luckily. Although, there is a clear downgrade, I think, now that that keeper is injured. He's only out for 3 matches, so not a big deal. So yeah, like I was saying, I think the big thing is finishing, composure, long shot, strictly. Yeah, I mean, I think we definitely... It's kind of interesting, in it? Because he's got 6 appearances, 0 assists, and yet this guy has got like 7 starts, 6 assists. Kind of crazy, but... Yeah, but I think it's just over whether it's Pina or not. But he's still got 80 passing at the end of the day. Like, I think he still gets his place, basically. I think. So... yeah, I think that's the right setup. Basically. No clowns. I guess we'll check where they're at. See if it's a more interesting match this time around as well. No clowns. So what are they? 5-7-4. So kind of again like a pretty decent team, really. Just they're okay. Wow. I think that we will not catch them. They are way ahead. They are having an excellent season. 21 wins, 3 draws, and they won all of the penalty shootouts and 0 losses. Yeah, we could just about win every game for the rest of the season. Well, yeah. If we won every game for the rest of the season, then maybe we catch them, but obviously we're not going to do that. So pretty happy with that start. Let's just check. 60. Yeah, I think we're okay just to leave our tactic. Mizachi is just trying to go through. He scores. He's matched up again. It's a great matchup because he's just way faster, even though he can tackle okay. But I'm not too bothered. The matchups aren't perfect for the strikers onto our defenders, but it's better that we just leave our defensive setup basically with everybody in their correct roles and having all the formations set up to get all the correct amount of like fluidity, whatever that it brings. If we start switching people around, it disrupts the balance of everything. So we only really want to do that if there's like a really specific matchup to exploit, and even then maybe you don't. But yeah, there isn't any matchups like that this game, so their strikers can finish, so we just got to be aware of that because there's a good chance they just got. Like, if we give another chance, they'd only need 2 or 3 chances of that quality to their strikers, and they probably score one. So we just got to bear that in mind. These situations aren't great, to be honest, but I'm not seeing anything that I can change. I mean, I kind of feel like if we keep giving up these types of situations to them, for sure they're going to score this game. But I think the question is something like, are they going to score twice without us scoring? That's more the question that I'm thinking about. And right now, I kind of feel like there's a chance we'll score another for sure, maybe 2 more. I can't see them. I basically kind of feel like they're not going to score more than 2, and we're probably going to score at least 1 more. So we should just leave it. So there's the at least one more, and I just don't feel like they're going to score two, basically. So that's why. Basically, I don't want to change stuff because I wanted to score this extra goal, or these extra goals, like just happened. So, I think the bigger decision, in a way, in this game is just the right sort of timing to do, like, the subs. Especially if we're sort of downgrading the quality on the pitch. We just want to make sure that we don't do it too early, basically, so as i.e. not so early that they might score 3 goals. Although I do sort of feel if we get a fourth, then there isn't any too early either from that point. Like, so scoring a fourth would be pretty good for that purpose. Just allows us to do whatever subs we want as soon as we want. But, I mean, this game is pretty close to effectively over already, I'd say. Although, like I said, I've been saying before, I really wouldn't be surprised at all if they score. But I just can't see them scoring 3. Because these sort of situations like this are, like, pretty dangerous. Like, I can see them just scoring. I actually got pretty decent build-up play and stuff like that. So, I'd say just their main issue is... really that we're better than them. So I can see how they're getting results because they're creating some, they're creating stuff basically. I don't know how many shots are manufactured off the back of it. A few. I'd say more what they're doing is less about the actual shots that they're taking, and it's more about the types of situations that they're creating. Like when we were 2-0 up, I definitely was thinking about it because I was like, there's a good chance they'll score 2, but I was just pretty confident that we'll get at least one more. Alright, let's have a look at this striker that just came up in case he happens to be something. Again, very good finishing, just slow. This is the issue for them. Both just really slow, so that's a major issue. The wingers, yeah, not particularly. I think they've just got an issue that they just don't. It's okay to have slow players that can score. The issue is just when that's all you've got. Like, you need you can have a slow striker that can score goals and make it all work. You need to surround him by players that can get the ball up the pitch and get the ball to him. They don't necessarily have to be fast, but I think their real issue here is I think they shouldn't be playing 2 strikers. I think they need a better build up basically. They need AMC or something. Anyway, I'm not here to fix them. Although, yeah, it could be pretty interesting. I'm not quite sure how we could do it, but I would say like somehow like being able to like take other teams and fix their tactics or whatever would like be pretty cool. Just not sure how that could ever be done fairly. Like whose team are we supposed to look at, sort of thing, to fix them up. Like, it's a bit, but it would be conceptually pretty cool, I think. Alright, I suppose we're subbing him as well because we don't want him to get injured. There's another great chance. I'd say, yeah. I don't mind how they play football. I feel like this is a type of team that's like would be pretty cool, to be honest, because they're creating stuff, they're sort of making stuff happen, but they've just got really obvious deficiencies. Like, well, the defenders for starters, their defense is just horrible. Or if you're gonna play with these slow defend, like, I don't know. I just feel like there's something here in this team, and even though we're destroying them, like, I honestly feel like you could probably just do something like buy 2 or 3 players and, work on that. You could transform this team into a pretty decent, like, promotional, a team that can get promoted pretty comfortably, I'd say. with not much, most fundamentally using their team, just buying a couple players and just work, tweaking the tactics a bit, basically. It will kind of be fun. Right. I mean, they had nearly half as many shots as we had, and they did sort of have a lot of situations where they were sort of passing the ball around in the box and didn't actually even get a shot off at all. So they just need that. Yeah, I mean, you just can't play two strikers. You can't play two strikers like that, and like both of them have like 20-something speed. It's just not really viable. I mean, I think if you made one of them like a deep lying forward, and if they had very good deep lying forward skills to help with the build up and stuff, and the other guy was like a poacher, so if one was a deep lying forward, one was a poacher. The deep lying forward one like had really good passing, vision, etc., long shots, and if the poacher had, poaching stuff like high finishing poacher, whatever. So you could probably make that work, and then you sort of just need the two wingers to be able to actually like wrap around or not or whatever. So either like not a good chance for them, like either just have pace or whatever to beat, or so to speak, or just like really good crossing and stuff. They don't have to necessarily beat anyone; they can just deliver something like crossing and passing and stuff. So just players that can help with the build-up play, or that can just beat their opponents, like one or the other. I think the issue they've got really, if you look at this, like, it's sort of okay, but like the dribbling is just, you can't really beat the player, and then the crossing isn't really that high. The passing or whatever is okay, like he's okay, but he's not good enough to compensate for a 21 speed pair of strikers basically. And then this guy as well, like, he's not fast enough to beat the player or whatever. So like he needs, he's good with the build up with the passing or whatever, but it's like they've got a whole bunch of players that like are all the players that aren't ultimately going to beat anybody. You can't have a whole team like that. Like you need somebody that can bring the ball up. It doesn't have to be all of them, but it can't be none of them. I think that's ultimately their issue. Right. Anyway, so we get another win. Very comfortable. No real lessons to be gained, I don't feel, from that one too much. We're talking about the other team a lot there. So, and then basically, like, their defense was just horrible as well. Or at least horrible against our attack. I think they definitely were. It's the type of thing where, like, if you have, I don't know. Like, we're obviously we've built our whole team up like this, so it's like, it's curious about, yeah. It's hard, because the thing is, the better we get the team, and refine the tactics, so to speak, although, like, we're pretty refined at this point. Tactically speaking, it is possible we'll happen to pick up some awesome player that helps us redefine it a bit, but like right now I think we've sort of loosely got our tactics sorted. It's possible we could end up hitting a wall, like for example maybe we get to Division 1 and we just can't get promoted to the Masters League, and we have to, and the tactic just is just got some issues that we need to sort out. But right now I kind of feel like it should get us there, as long as we just have the right good enough players basically for all the roles that we need, and we need some pretty specific type of players. But I feel like we have seen these players, and we have had the chances to buy all the players we need. They just happen to be older. We were only really trying to get younger players. I feel like we'll get them like in when we're in Division 1 trying to push for the Masters. We won't really care if they're older. That's the thing, as long as they get us there, so to speak. So yeah, I kind of think there is fundamentally an issue that when you've got a tactic like we have and a team like we have, like it makes these types of videos, I don't know, it's just difficult, I suppose, because like quite often the correct path to victory quite often is to just change nothing. So they happen to have like a really fast striker on the RC, so he's got a bad matchup for us. He's clinical. This guy's clinical as well. On the flip side, though, we've got pretty good matchups on the other end. So again, I'm not sure it's really worth changing anything around too much. I think like we can probably just rely on our team scoring, just like that. So I think this is really where we end up with a lot of these matches. I just feel like we can do all sorts of things to try to, like, if something mattered, like for example, if we wanted to stop them from scoring, we could make a whole bunch of changes to try and achieve that. But they could have some knock-on impacts to a lot of stuff, like for example, us being able to score. And I just kind of ultimately feel like in these matches, like, it's better to just let our team be free-flowing, and it's better to just have the chances, and it's better to just let our team score. And if they happen to score, so be it. If they happen to score 2, maybe, so be it. This team is a bit different. Like I think they do represent some pretty clear danger. This guy in particular is like very dangerous. And again, it's a little bit different now, like, because we have the goal. So it's kind of like maybe it is worth changing stuff just to try to stop them from scoring. But yeah, but that's the counter argument, is if just leave it and just go more. So this is where we keep ending up. I just feel like you're trying to convince yourself to just change stuff for the sake of changing stuff, but I think in the end you just need to be careful of that. Because now I feel like this is the thing, right? Like we could have left it to try. We could have changed some stuff to try to like do something to defend this 1-goal lead, and then potentially you defend it the whole game, and then they score in the last kick of the game, and then it's 1-0. And instead, you just leave it, and now we're winning 3-0. And really, it just feels like we've won the game at this point. They basically haven't really created anything much. Like, the danger exists when you look at these players. Like, he's like, oh, he's dangerous, but it's like, the whole team could just be set up badly, or they could just be set up badly sort of like against us, so to speak, like we sort of counter them, perhaps. I don't know, because I kind of feel like this team didn't have particularly good, like a player like this, at this level, you should be able to get him averaging a goal a game. Pretty much. I mean, 72 finishing, 67 composure, 82 speed, 69 long shots. I mean, you should be able to get him averaging a goal a game. So, they had a lot of dramas. Or, close to it. Maybe not literally like a goal every game or whatever, but, just score like close to that. 4 goals every 5 games or whatever. Obviously, if you're playing 2 up front, like that's different as well. Like it really depends on your tactic and stuff. But I mean, if you were playing 1 up front and it was just him, especially if you didn't have an AMC, or or maybe you did have an AMC, but it's like an actual attacking midfielder as opposed to like a proxy forward. You know, should be pretty doable. I feel like it's an interesting little mini game that can do. So guess the nationality of the players from their names. It's kind of pretty interesting. I guess Ben Yusuf comes out, or maybe Rivera. Yeah, so there wasn't really much to learn in these 3. I mean, I don't know. Hopefully there was. We did make some... No tactical changes needed. 3 really substantial victories. Oh, did he get one back? I think he's pretty clinical. Yeah, really clinical. great chance. Right, well, 3 matches, 3 wins, pretty straightforward. We'll leave our team set up as it is, because it's still just the keeper out at the moment, so yeah, it's like the second weekly league period. We've still got 4 full injury recoveries left. I mean, I'd say we're pretty well placed, so we're going to play the youth matches now. So cheers, thanks for watching these, and yeah, catch you for the next video.